was a little concerned. I thought you were crying that you had to introduce me. You know, come to give your main talk and they have a dumpster out front. Not sure what to think about that. You know, Gene and I just got back from our trip back east to this Benjamin's graduation from this little private college there.
Yeah.
Harvard knows how to give a graduation, let me tell you that. They've had 375 years of practice. They have traditions within that graduation that are 100 years older than the United States. It was really an experience. 3 days. I realized that the students had to take all of these tests. I didn't realize the parents also had to. It was an endurance test. 3 days of receptions and lunches and dinners and processions and speeches. I mean, it was really fantastic. We finally got Ben moved out. The very last minute of the last day he was allowed to be there, he said he talks to his friends in other places who are graduating and they're going, wow, great. 4 years and I finally get out of here. And he said he and his friends are saying, we can't believe you're kicking us out. But while we were there, we also did some other sightseeing in the area. We went over to Saratoga Springs, which many of you may know is known for horse racing, but that wasn't the season for that. We were just looking around. It's a pretty area. And we went to the oldest continually operating coffee house in the United States, Cafe Lena. It's this little place. Have you been there?
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's wonderful. And what it's known for is that all of these really famous folk singers come there and sing. They had pictures of Bob Dylan up on the wall when he was young. And there was a couple singing when we were there. This man and wife, and the woman is Sarah Lee Guthrie, the granddaughter of Woody Guthrie and the daughter of Arlo Guthrie. Now, it was really a fun performance. You know, the stage was like smaller than this, and we were sitting right there. It was really fun. But besides singing, she also told some stories of Woody Guthrie and Arlo Guthrie. I don't know how many of you were into the Arlo Guthrie at the time. All right, okay. You know, his most famous song was Alice's Restaurant. Of course, it was an anti-war song, but the beginning of it was about his going up to the small town and visiting his friend Alice, who ran a restaurant. And as he said, that's not what the song was about, but they lived in an old church. And that became very famous because of the song. And years later, when they had moved out, he went back and bought the church. And so one day he was in there cleaning it up, and the local minister came in. And he said, well, Arlo, what kind of church is this going to be now? And he's thinking, because he was cleaning it up, he was going to make it into a place where singers and songwriters could come in and do their musical thing. And he said, well, it's going to be a BYOG. It's a Bring Your Own God church. And I thought, wow, I didn't know he was New Thoughter. Because that's how we are, huh? You bring your own God here. Now, most churches aren't like that, understand. The traditional churches, when you go in, you have to strip off any God you have, and they give you an off-the-rack, one-size-fits-all God. And you put that on, and it may be a little cramped up for you, but they tell you, you look wonderful. You can't quite no, that's you, it's perfect. And that's what you get when you go to the... And of course it's even worse, and I know a lot of you have done this, when you go when you were young. Because when you were young, they give you the little one-size-fits-all God. And then you grow up, but it's still the same. And you're in a straitjacket, and you can barely breathe, and you're kind of walking like this. And your friends come up and go, you look a little strange. Your God seems a little, oh no, my God's perfect. And so sooner or later, many of you couldn't handle that anymore, and you left. And you went out, and you went to other churches, and you read books, and you talked to people, and you put together your own God, you know? It's a little bit strange, and your God might be a Chinese shirt, and the sleeves come from India, and you know, maybe you have a hat from the Druids, and your pants might be from some liberal Christian church, and you may have accessories from all kinds of little cults. It's a little embarrassing when you're out in public, face it, and people see your God and go, it's a little strange, I don't know. But you come in here and it's okay. You can bring your own God in. And you know, some of you want really light gods that are very loose and give you a lot of room to move around. And some of you like kind of tight gods that are real cozy and keep you warm. And all of that's okay. And you say, well, come on though, isn't there only one God? Well, yes, there is only one God, but there's many aspects of God. And at different parts in our life, those different aspects have meaning to us. And it's kind of like Joseph, you know, the story of Joseph with his coat of many colors. And his family all had on the regulation guide. You know, it was all one color and all looked very same. And Joseph had on his God of many colors. And it made all of his family nervous, and his brothers were really nervous until they finally ripped that coat off of him and sold him into slavery in Egypt. But he prospered there because he had been made strong by this God that fit him, that had what he wanted. And so when you come in here with your God. And yet, the PLC is more than just a place where you can bring your own God. We're tailors in here, too. I didn't know we had that skill. Huh? But we help you kind of refit your God. We don't tell you, take that God off and here, put this one on. But we help you out. Maybe you've got on a God that's got a big hood, and it's got dark glass. You know, this hood's going to protect you. These dark glasses, well, you won't see all these evil things. And you know, that's the God that you had and you came in with, only it's a 80-degree spring day, and we can help you go, you know, do you really need that? Maybe you want to take off that hood for a while and check it out. I mean, take off those real dark glasses and look around. And maybe you have on long sleeves, and we say, hey, let's trim that back a little and see how that fits for you. And so at the PLC, we help you reform that God. And we'll help you not give you one off the shelf, but help you make it what you want. We do that through these talks. I'm up here trimming right now. And we do that in the classes and the various techniques that we teach. And you know what a lot of that is it's stripping off some of this, because we've picked up these gods from all over, and it's layer upon layer upon layer of God to protect us. And here sometimes we can help you take off many of those layers and say, you didn't really need all of that. Try that out and see. And then eventually, you know, as you look at taking off this layer after layer, you might come to another truth. A truth that Jesus said in the Gospel of Thomas. He said, you will find truth when you can strip off your clothes, throw them on the ground, and trample them like children. Now, nope, don't jump up. Start
Damn, Maggie.
I know, I'm not some of the people. I've got to watch what I say here. But, you know, I checked it out in the Bible. I looked, and there wasn't any place where it said, you know, Jesus was tired and decided to go on vacation and went to a nudist camp. That was not in there at all. And so Jesus was telling us about these gods that we wear. He was saying that, you know, we wear our God like we wear our clothes. And we wear clothes to protect ourselves from the elements, to protect ourselves from what's out there. But you don't have to protect yourself from what's out there, because it's all God.